are one with him, and hence one with all power. This is the heritage of man. I and the Father are one. There is but one way to be one with the power of God, and that is consciously to contact God. This cannot be done in the without, for God manifests from within. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. Only as we turn from the without to the silence of the within can we hope to make conscious union with God. We will realize that his power is for us to use, and we will use it at all times. Then we will know that we are one with his power. Then will humanity be understood. Man will learn to let go of self-delusions and vanities. He will realize his ignorance and littleness. Then will he be prepared to learn. He will realize that the proud cannot be taught. He will know that only the humble can perceive the truth. His feet will feel the firm rock. He will no longer stumble. He will be poised in decision. To realize that God is the only power, substance, and intelligence may be confusing at first. But when man does realize the true nature of God and brings him forth into active expression, he will use this power at all times. He will know that he consciously contacts his power at all times. When he eats, when he runs, when he breathes, or when he does the great work before him. Man has not learned to do the greater works of God because he has not realized that greatness of God's power and has not known that God's power is for man's use. God does not hear us through our loud and vain repetitions, nor our much speaking. We must seek God through the Christ within, the invisible connection which we have within ourselves. When the Father within is worshipped in spirit and truth, he hears the calls of that soul which sincerely opens to him. The one who makes the connection with the Father in secret will feel the power flowing through him as the fulfillment of every desire. For he that sees the Father in the secret place of his own soul, and there abides, him the Father will reward openly. How often Jesus discloses his individual contact with the Father. See how he constantly held himself in conscious communication with God within. See how he talked with him as though he were personally present. See how powerful this secret inner relation made him. He recognized that God does not speak in the fire, the earthquake, or the great wind, but in the still small voice deep in our own souls. When man learns this, he will become poised. He will learn to think things through. Old ideals will drop away. New ideals will be adjusted. He will soon find the ease and the efficiency of system. He will learn at last to take all the questions that perplex him into this silent hour. There he may not solve them, but he will become familiar with them. Then he will not need to go hurrying and battling through the day and feel that his purpose has been defeated. If man would come to know the greater stranger himself, let him enter his own closet and shut the door. There he will find his most dangerous enemy, and there will he learn to master him. He will find his true self. There will he find his truest friend, his wisest teacher, his safest advisor, himself. There will he find the altar upon which God is the undying fire, the source of all goodness, all strength, all power, himself. He will know that God is in the deepest part of the silence. He will find that within himself abides the Holy of Holies. He will feel and know that his every desire is in God's mind, and is therefore God's desire. He will feel and know the closeness of the relationship of God and man, the Father and the Son. he will realize that only in consciousness has there been any separation of these which have seemed two, just as his spirit and his body have seemed to be two, but which in reality are one. God fills both heaven and earth. It was this great revelation that came to Jacob in the silence. He had slept on the stone of materiality. In a great burst of divine illumination, he saw the outer is but the outpressing or expression of the image held within. So impressed was he by this that he called out, "Surely the Lord, or law, is in this place, the earth or body." And he knew it, and I knew it not. This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate to heaven. Man will realize, as Jacob did, that the real gate to heaven is through his own consciousness. Is this ladder of consciousness revealed in a vision to Jacob, which each of us must climb before we enter that silent, secret place of the Most High, and find that we are the very center of every created thing, one with all things visible and invisible, in and of the omnipresence? In Jacob's vision, he was shown the ladder reaching from earth to heaven. He saw the angels of God descending and ascending upon it. God's ideas descending from spirit to form and ascending again. It was the same revelation that came to Jesus when the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the wonderful law of expression, whereby ideas conceived in the divine mind come forth into expression and manifest as form. So perfectly was this law of expression revealed to the Master, that at once he saw all form may be transformed, or changed in form, through a change of consciousness in regard to it. I'll read that again. So perfectly was this law of expression revealed to the Master, that at once he saw all form may be transformed, or changed in form, through a change of consciousness in regard to it. His first temptation was to change the form of stones to that of bread, to satisfy personal hunger. But with the revelation of this law of expression came the true understanding that stones, as well as all other visible forms, have come forth from the universal mind substance, God, and are in themselves true expressions of divine mind. And all things desired, not formed, are still in this universal mind substance, ready to be created or brought forth to fill every desire. Thus the need for bread but showed that the substance with which to create bread or any other needed thing is at hand without limitation, and bread can be created from this substance just as well as stones can be created therefrom. Every good desire man has is God's desire. Therefore, there is an unlimited supply in the universal God substance all about us to fill every desire. All we need do is to learn to use what God has already created for us. And this he wills to have us do, that we may be free from every limitation, and thus be abundantly free. When Jesus said, "I am the door," he meant that the I am in each soul is the door through which the life, power, and substance of the great I am, which is God, comes forth into expression through the individual.